How's it going, guys? PepperBeefSoScpiy here, welcoming you back to another character tutorial for Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Today we're going to be doing a kind of character that is not usually the type of character that I do, and by that I mean like usually the kind of characters I do tutorials for is very complex characters, except for martial law, because, well, usually those are the kind of characters that I like to play. I like complex characters for the most part, without, having too much of an execution requirement. I like mix-up characters, so usually those are the kind of characters I stick to. But, I suddenly recently had a feeling for this character, which is Kunimitsu. She is actually one of the more simpler characters in the game, which is, usually against my type of characters that I play, except for this dude Fang. So I decided to make a tutorial for it, since Kunimitsu has not appeared in Tekken since Tekken Tag 1. And Kunimitsu is very new, as in, just she's not a new character, but her game plan, her playstyle is relatively new for the aspects of this game, since she hasn't been in a game since Tekken Tag 1, and that was like 10 years ago. So this is the kind of character that needs a tutorial because, well, there's no previous experience with her for the most part. So without further doubt, I'm going to talk about how Kunimitsu fits into the game. First, she is one of Yoshimitsu's enemies. She was part of Yoshimitsu's Manji clan, but then she left it because she tried to steal a sword that was very precious to the Manji clan, and Yoshimitsu found out and he caught her, and that was very disrespectful, so he banished her, and she was like, screw you guys, I'm just going to be like a thief kind of person. She's kind of like a burglar kind of character slash ninja with jiggle physics, but that's the kind of character she is. She's not very important to the story, that's why she hasn't appeared, real Tekken since Tekken 2. She started off as a clone of Yoshimitsu, and even with her new set of moves, she is still very much like Yoshimitsu. So that's her story pretty much. So she doesn't really have a Netsu with NM because she's a brand new character. She's a console-only character, and if you don't know, Netsu, which is, if you know what Netsu is how fast you get rage depending on your tag partner. New characters like Kunimitsu does not have a Netsu modifier. She's completely neutral with everyone, even someone she would be enemies with like Yoshimitsu or Raven. Okay, that's enough about her story. Let's talk about her playstyle. So, Kunimitsu is a kind of a standard character. She has, she has her lows, she has her mids. Well, I just said that was the wrong order. She's got her Whiff Punishers, very solid set of Whiff Punishers. She's got, pretty good combo damage, nothing like too crazy like Bruce or like Lars or something, but she's got pretty decent combo damage. Like I said, she's kind of a standard character. She has a few mix-ups. She has 3 stances, which is more than average, but the thing about her is that her stances are not that crazy, like they're kind of like Fang stances where they're kind of simplistic. They don't really have too many crazy moves in it. And she's not really a mix-up character per se. In my opinion, she's more of a poker. But you can really just play her either as a keep away or you can play her as a rushdown. Although in my opinion, I think I like to play her more as a keep away character for reasons that I will mention later. Other than the fact that she plays like a regular kind of character, by regular I mean she has like kind of the same tools, all the generic tools that everyone has, just has her strengths and weaknesses to it, with no discernible sway towards either rushdown or keep away. She has a few really unique attributes to her, which is she has a very strong full crouch mix-up, like Yoshimitsu. Like I said, this is part of her that is something that Yoshimitsu also does. She has a mini combo from the low launcher. Oops. And she has a launching full crouch launcher. she also has a tremendously amazing solo wall carry. Let's see how far I can get it actually. Her wall carry is one of the best in the game, in my opinion. Her jabs reach very far. Oops. Her jabs reach very far, and her moves go very far out so that she can carry without being afraid not to bound. Let's see if I can get this. Yeah, that was pretty much like 70% of the whole stage, and that down forward 1-3 would have hit the wall, but obviously I wouldn't be able to combo because I'm too far. But you get what I mean. She has amazing wall carry, and she doesn't sacrifice too much damage for it, so that's really good. It's one of my favorite attributes. Also to the fact that she has really good wall carry. She also has really good damage with the string down to 1-2, 1-2, 1+2. Or this down back 3-3-3-3. She also has, like I said before, a really good set of Whiff Punishers and far-reaching mid pokes. She is lacking at a lot of really scary high damage moves. Like Fang has a show like the straight up 40 damage Whiff Punisher, or his big damage 33 damage Circle 401 low. Kunimitsu lacks anything huge damage. I mean, her Whiff Punisher 423 does do 43, but those kind of moves are very far in between for her. She also has back 4-3, which does big damage, but it's also kind of slow. She's lacking a lot of power moves, so she has actually a lot of pokes. And to supplement her pokes, she does have a good set of mix-ups that lead to her full crouch, like down forward 3-2, or back turn, which is like forward 4-3 plus 4 back 4 hold back, or just back 4 I think. It's hold back, or just back 4. Or her stances, Setsu and Metsu stance. This is Metsu, this is Set stance, and her Doton stance, which is not that good in my opinion. Are all pretty decent for mix-ups, though nothing on the level of like Zafina or Xingling Xiaoyu or Lei. Like I said, that's pretty much about her. She is, most importantly, she has decent block punishers, really good Whiff Punishers, really good wall damage, well, better than average wall damage, and amazing wall carry. Also, really good set of mid poke. Weaknesses, like I said, she does lack power moves, and she lacks a really good low pokes. Her low pokes, except for down back 3-3, are very far in between. She doesn't really have anything amazing for low pokes. And yeah, I think that's about how she plays, or what her attributes are. Basically, she's not really complicated. So I guess without further ado, let's get into her punishers. Alright, so 10 frames, she's got 1-2. Standard, plus 6 on plus 7 hit, not much to say about it. She also got 1-1, but I don't really know why you would want to use 1-1, because 1-1 is less frames, and it's less advantage frames on hit, and it is, same damage. So 1-2, always better. So you always want to use 1-2 in my opinion. 1-1's kind of a useless move, except for the fact that it's a mid, the second hit. 12 frames is 2-2, which is, only reason you want to use this is if you exactly know the opponent is at negative 12. Otherwise, you'll always use the 13 frame Punisher, which we'll talk about in a second. But 2-2 leaves like plus 4, I think, plus 4, but the point is it does more damage, and it's high mid, so pretty good. And it tracks pretty decently as well, so it's not that bad as a poke. Delayable, I think? Slightly, I think. Yeah, slightly. 13 frames, she's got 4-2-3. 42 damage, this is the wall hit. Wall splats, very strong. This is a really good Whiff Punisher. This is a lot like Law's 4-3-4. Really far-reaching, high. Hit confirmable as well. Does a lot of damage, wall splats, reaches far, tracks pretty well. Delayable, hit confirmable. All really good move. It's just that the fact that this move does not jail, so you do have to be careful if you're using it in neutral because the opponent can duck the second hit. Alright. 14 frames is forward 1 plus 2, which the only reason you want to use this is if you want to get one hit at the wall instead of multiple hits at the wall with 4-2-3. Because forward 1 plus 2 is actually a shorter range than 4-2-3, even though it looks like 4-2-3 is shorter. The thing that the animation is hiding is that her right arm stretches out as far as it is possible, and then she steps forward, while forward 1 plus 2 does a barely any step forward. So this move is shorter ranged, and it's mid and doesn't do as much damage, so really you want to stick to your 13 frame Punisher 4-2-3 for the most part, unless for whatever reason you want to feel like using this. Maybe, well actually no, you could just tag out anyways because you do that, because it knocks down either way. You could use it as a safe tag, but since it does push them farther back than 4-2-3, it's up to you really. 15 frames. She's got, like most characters, a 15-frame launcher. Up forward 3 is her hop knee. It's a lot like Yoshimitsu's hop knee, except it's a bit shorter range. She has an extension up forward 3-4, which just launches them higher, and the second hits a high, but it's not really that useful, in my opinion. It doesn't really give more damage because all it does is just add scaling to the combo. Down forward 2 is also her 15-frame Punisher. He has classic down forward 2, unlike this dude, which very annoyingly I do this a lot because I think he has down forward 2 to punish 15 frames, but he doesn't. Let's see. Okay, down forward 2, which is a very far-reaching down forward 2. It's a lot like Leo's uppercut. It reaches very far, even from all the way over here. Not from over there, but from there it will hit. So it's got pretty good range. I think it could even punish wall standing 2 from Law. I might be wrong on that. I must make a disclaimer, of course, that this is not my main character, just the character that I picked up recently. So, you know, if I miss something or I get something wrong, please correct me in the comments. I don't want, you know, me and my information to mislead people. I want people to be able to play Kunimitsu as best as they can. Anyways, yeah, down forward 2 and up forward 3, 15-frame punchers. They're both kind of short range. I mean, up forward 3 is kind of short range, so you only really want to use up forward 3 for crushing. I prefer much to use down forward 2 because it has more consistent range, even though it does less damage. 18 frames. Not really a reason you want to use 18 frames unless it's like a really far-reaching move. I mean, a move that knocks you really far back. That's launch punishable. We got forward 3 plus 4, which 27 knocks down high, homing high. On counter hit, well, actually I'll talk about this move later. I'll just talk about the block puncher. Also wall splats, if you get hit, thank you. It does look like this has a lot of range, but it actually doesn't have as much range as you think it would. Like, it only hits at range 2. It won't hit at regular range 3. Because like the kick will lose its hitbox pretty fast, unfortunately. So the range isn't as good as it could seem. 18 frames, she's also got back forward 3, which is unfortunately less range than forward 2-3. So in the situation that it's 18 frames and you can't reach it, forward 2-3 is still probably your best option. She's also got back 2, which is also 18 frames, but I'm not really sure why you would want to use this as opposed to forward 3 plus 4, since forward 3 plus 4 has better range. Well, actually, yeah, they kind of have similar ranges. I think forward 3 plus 4 might be a little bit farther. Those are standing punchers. Wall standing, she's got very standard wall standing punchers. She's got 11 frames wall standing 4. 18 damage, you know, it's classic wall standing 4, nothing too crazy about it, just a little bit of plus frames. 13 frames, she's got wall standing 1-1, which puts them in full crouch, but it's only +1, so you're not exactly amazingly advantaged other than the fact that you put them in full crouch. I do believe there's bounds. Yeah, for whatever reason it bounds, but you don't ever really want to use it as a bound move, in my opinion. You mostly use down 1. At the wall anyways. 15 frames, she's got her up forward 3 again, which is short range, of course, so you don't really want to use that too much. And she's got her wall setting 3, which has better range, and is taggable, like I just showed. Pretty decent wall standing 3. It's got pretty good range. It's actually got like more range than you think it would, and it tracks pretty well as well. So pretty good move, and the fact that it's taggable is very nice. Those are her punishers. One thing I do note is that against sweeps, you do want to be a little bit patient with Kunimitsu because her wall standing 3 may whiff, and she does not have a delayed hop kick. She has this delayed spinning kick, like a lot like Yoshimitsu. So you cannot launch something a lot like you can launch something with Feng for like a lot of damage with up forward 3. I mean up forward 4. Delayed up forward 4. Okay, so those are pretty much your punishers. She's got like a decent set of punishers. Nothing really bad about them, except for like I think wall standing 1-1 could be a little bit better. Her 4-2-3 is a really good punisher as well. So the fact that her block punishers are really good, well, not really good, but better than average, you know, reinforces my aspect that she can be played as a keep away kind of character. Okay, so let's get into stances, which some people may get confused with, since stances is technically an advanced concept for people to understand. So let's get into it. She's got her primary stance, which is Setsu no Gake. I have no idea what that means, but it's basically forward 3, or a forward 4, hold forward. It does this little dash in. You can cancel it with down to go to dash, and I think you can cancel it with other stuff. Let me just make sure. Setsu no Gake. Where are you? Setsu no Gake. Setsu no Gake. Oh, it doesn't show here. Anyways, you can cancel it with down to go to full crouch. You could also cancel it with back, I think. Yeah, you can cancel it with back, in case you want to block right away. This is really good for baiting your opponents, if they're, you know, very used to seeing Setsu engages. Since Setsu no Gake stance is primarily used, primarily used to get close to your opponent and apply mix-ups and pokes. So you say you're spacing all the way out here, whatever you're spacing, wait for spacing. And then you can go in with Setsu no Gake, or just call it Set Stance, if you want to, you know, be faster. Okay, so first move out of Setsu Stance to note is a primary string, which is Setsu 1, 2, 4. Setsu 1, 2, 4 is the first hits are double high and it's delayable, very delayable, and hit confirmable. It's a 22 damage, which is at least +7 on knocks back, but you have to be careful because it does knock you far back from your opponent, so you may not be able to use all the plus frames that you have unless, of course, you're at the wall. There's a lot of plus frames that knocks back, which is pretty good, and hit confirmable. Just to note that if you delay it and the opponent blocks the first hit, which is an elbow so you can't parry it, they can duck the second hit. Just know about that. The last hit, Setsu 1, the fourth part, is not delayable. You have to do 2 to 4 right away. And it's a mid that's all safe. This entire string, by the way, is safe. There's no negative frames. No, like, negative 10 frames in this thing at all. The last hit is a bound, which you primarily use for combos. Mostly mid-screen combos. Which is pretty good. It's also safe, but the last part does not have any good tracking at all. It's a very, very linear move, which is steppable, but thankfully you're not disadvantaged frame, so you are not, like, entirely, you know, unsafe, even if it whiffs, unless your opponent is, like, very good at reacting to that, which they might be, but I'm just saying that, you know, it's not, like, super bad on recovery either. Okay, so other moves she's got. Oh, before I go on, Setsu 1, 2, the second hit, if it's counter hit, is a launcher. Oops, yeah, down for 2. Much better. Which is very nice. It's very safe, possibly combo starting. I consider this a move of poke, Setsu 1, 2. You primarily just want to use Setsu 1, 2 in neutral, and you only want to use the 4 part in combos. She also has Set 2, which is a bit slower, but does 24, it's mid, safe. +2, +1, I think. Pretty good. Range is pretty decent, and it's safe, complete. So, like, it's -9 though, so you pretty much have to block after, you can't do anything else. On counter hit, it is a very strong combo starter, which is pretty nice. Bop, bop. Oh, that doesn't reach. Not much to say about Set 2 other than the fact that it does what it does. It's very useful because it is basically, it's basically a fishing for counter hits kind of move. If it's counter hit, then great. If it's hit, then you can do it. You can apply a mix up. If it's not, if it doesn't hit, then you can just back off and try again later. It's pretty much a very, it's a move without any weaknesses other than the fact that it comes from set stance where you have to apply the stance first before you could cancel it into the move. She's got Set 4, which is only used for combos. You don't really want to use this in neutral. I think you can use it in Noki, but it's not really that amazing. That fancy flip that Kunimitsu does in the combos is Set 4. This move right here, Set 4, when you apply it to someone mid-air or on bound, which I'll show right now, it flips them into the air. And it does unscaled throw combo damage, which is always 10 damage, which is always good, considering that since Kunimitsu's wall carry is really strong, she has a tendency to hit a lot of, put a lot of points, like, you know, number of hits into her combos, so her combo damage might get scaled. So she has this throw that acts as an ender, which does unscaled damage, which is really nice. She's also got set 1+2, which flips over and gives +1. This is really good for applying a back turn mix-up. It's basically a free back turn mix-up, although you have to act right away considering that you're only +1 here. If you have Yoshimitsu on your team, this is a combo. I mean, tag throw. If you tag while doing this throw. Bomb! You can also do this throw from neutral while doing up 1+2. Is it up 1+2? Yeah, it's up 1+2. Bomb! Okay, what else? Set 1, 2, talk about set 4. Okay, set 1+2, set 4. She doesn't have a set 3, because set 3 moves into Metsu stance, we'll talk about later. She has sets 1+4, which is a very, very, very unique throw. And what I'm saying is that this is the only throw in the game, as far as I know, which does not require a button input to break. Instead of pressing 1, 2, 3, or 4, you have to press down to break this throw. Which is very weird. I think that was just a gimmick they tried to apply to Kunimitsu to give her more strength. So this throw does 40 damage, and it has a very unique grab animation. She uses her leg and both of her arms at the same time. The weakness to this throw, even though it's a very unique break, so if your opponent does not know about it, there's no way they're ever going to break this throw, which is abusable. You could abuse the hell out of that. But the thing is, because it's a down throw, the developers made it really lenient to break this throw. The window to break this throw is very large. So if you do know it's down and you can react to the throw, it's not very difficult to break. It's actually pretty easy to break this throw. That's why you have to throw it in times when your opponent is not expecting it, so that even if they know it's a breakdown, they're going to get caught off by guard by it, and they're going to get, you know, you're going to land that throw. I think this is taggable. It is taggable. There we go. Oops, what did I do? I think that's it from set. Oh, wait, doesn't she have? No, she doesn't have that. And like I said, you can cancel it into back or down. If you want to apply a full crouch mix-up by holding down, or back if you just want to block right away because you think your opponent is going to retaliate or something. It's kind of cool. She like weighs back like there's a recoil in her dash or something, like momentum. Let me just see if I missed anything in set stance. I don't think I did. She doesn't have that many moves. She only like 97 moves. Set 2, set 3. Musabi. Oh, it's Musabi, so not Metsu stance. Whatever. Set 4. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. I pretty much got everything then. Next stance is her Musabi stance, which is, you can do this by 4-4-3, or while in set stance, press 3. She does this low flip in the air. This mix-up that she applies with Musabi stance is very similar to the mix-up that Law applies with his up forward 3 fake flip mix-up. In the sense that there are only 2 moves in this stance. There is Musabi 2, which is a low launcher, 27, pretty strong. Oh, with the purse fire. Well, if I didn't with the purse fire, I probably would have done like 85. This low launcher is also launch punishable. I would also be careful about that. I think it also tracks really, really well. I could be wrong about that. In my experience, it has tracked really well though. And it's basically a delayed low that's very strong, and it's basically the scary move from this stance that people don't want to get hit by this low launcher. To add to this, Musabi stance has 2 mix-ups to it, which is she has Musabi 4, which is a really strong damage, 54 damage, safe high, because if you let me hold a second. It's very difficult to do this. 1 second. There we go. Oh, dang it. Okay, I just have to make him stand block because I can't trigger him to block it. Because if you block it, he just like, you know, she bounces off him, and then she just, you know, returns to neutral from a very safe distance. So this move is used in case of someone sees Musabi stance and try to interrupt you out of it. So it's very good for that. The problem is though, if they duck preemptively, knowing that Musabi 2 is going to come out, or thinking that Musabi 2 is going to come out. This move will whiff, and it's very, very launch punishable. See how much recovery frame she has there? It's very, very, very dangerous if it whiffs. So you have to be careful about this move and how you throw it out. And the third thing to this is just Musabi stance by itself. Don't press any buttons, and then she'll just land in full crouch to apply a full crouch mix-up. Now, because Musabi 2 ends in her going into full crouch anyways, just doing raw Musabi into full crouch is a mix-up since the animation is very difficult to tell between just Musabi and Musabi 2. So, you know, you could go into here and then interrupt with a wall setting 4, or you could do it here and then do a low anyways, or you could do mid, just it's just part of her her mix-up game, basically. This is used as primarily a rush-down thing, a lot like set stance. So you have to get in someone's face, hopefully you get in someone's face, because if you don't, it's very, not very good if you just do it all the way out here, unless you're trying to bait someone, which I hope you're playing very smart about that, because there is a lot of recovery frames if you're just doing it raw in the open or something. Like I said, you do have to be careful, because if you just do this, and the opponent can jab you and they can combo you out of the air, so you have to make sure that you've scared your opponent into being defensive. You have to make sure that you, assert your dominance, and you're able to pressure them. Make them be on defensive, and assert that you are going to be doing your offensive. Okay, that's Musabi, and then she got her last stance, which is, in my opinion, her least useful well, there's two more stances, but the other one's not really a stance. This stance is in my opinion, her least useful stance, which is her Doton stance, which is, she does this high crush, and then she goes down, and smoke appears, whatever, which is down 1+2. There are no transitions into Doton other than manual transition, so that's kind of weakness. So Doton stance has only a couple moves from it. Doton's 2-4, which is she travels under the ground, she disappears for a brief second, comes back, and then does that. It's also a instant bound move, so you have to combo off of it pretty much. Oops. No. There we go, that's what I want to do. This stance, in my opinion, is more of a defensive stance than it is an offensive stance, because in all of Kunimitsu's transitions from this stance, she all disappears. This makes it easy to crush things, but you have to kind of do it when your opponent is coming at you from afar, and you can't just really do it when your opponent is pressuring you in the face, because the transition into it, in my opinion, is pretty slow, and the crush isn't that amazing. It's only a decent high crush. It's not really like a big crush, and apparently she moves farther back the more she stabs it. I did not know that. But yeah, basically that's what it is. 2-4, pretty decent. -13 on the second hit. You can't hit confirm this because it's not delayable, and if you just do the first hit anyways, this first hit is launch punishable. So you want to be pretty much, if you're gonna do this, you might as well do the whole thing. Second move from it is Doton 3, which is high damage safe mid, which very linear. It has no tracking at all and does tons of damage. Don't think it wall splats. Oh, it does. Or I would assume that kind of animation does not wall splat. But then again, it's the same kind of knockback the Law's DSS2 does, so yeah, I guess that would wall splat. Boom, 96, lots of damage there. So that move is pretty decent. In my opinion, it's slower, but it's also fast. It's better than Doton 2-4 because it's more evasive because she comes from the sky. It's crazy how she just appears there. It's also safe, which is nice. The bad thing is, it's got tons of linearity. So if you just do this in someone's face and they just start sidewalking, you're pretty much going to be screwed there because of the linearness of this move. In fact, most moves from the two moves from Doton stance don't really have any good tracking. I guess Doton 2 does have better tracking, but it's still not amazing. And then she's got Doton 4, which I don't really know what this move is used for, since it's just a reset. Maybe it's because if your opponent goes through you or something, they pass under you, you want to do this. It doesn't even end in full crouch, so I don't really know what the point of Doton 4 is. If someone could tell me there's a special property to this move, I would greatly appreciate if Doton 4 does anything than just come back to where she is now. And I think she has it. I don't think she has anything else from Doton. Oops, not Doton. It's called Cumulonimbi. I guess that's a cloud, means cloud or something. Okay. that's her primary stances. Her last stance isn't really a stance, but she's got a couple unique moves from it. Is her back turn. There are a couple ways to back turn with Kunimitsu, but not as much as someone who has really good at back turn mix-ups like Fang. Like he has Fang as side step 2. He has hold back 3-4. He has what else does he have? I don't remember what this guy has for back turn. Shoot. Oh yeah, 2-4 back, 2-4-1 back, 3-3-4 back. He has a lot of back turn transitions. But Kunimitsu does not. She has 4-4-3 back. 4-4 3+4 3. She has back 4. And she has back 3+4. I think those are all of her back turn transitions. I think those are anyways. Yeah, I don't think she has any other back turn transitions as far as I know. So those are all of her back turn transitions. See, they're all kind of slow back turn transitions, so you can't really use her back turn game that much because of her transitions are pretty slow, and none of them are really nice frame-wise. So except for 4-4-3 back, I think. So you do have to be a little careful about if you're deciding to use back turn mix-ups with Kunimitsu. So she's got basically she's got 1-2, which is a lot like Yoshimitsu's back turn 1-2. It is a hit confirmable. Whoops. Double damage. I mean 45 damage. 45 damage. High mid. Safe completely. It's just a little bit slow. It's the only problem, and it's pretty good for press range, which is really nice if you're able to land that. Although there's no reason the opponent wouldn't fall for that because the first hit is a high. So you know, in case they're ducking preemptively or blocking mid, it's very difficult to land this move unless you're just like pressuring them, because the first part leaves her in back turn, so you could use this as a poke, except the fact that it's not really amazing plus frames wise. Other than which, she's got 2-3, which is the same thing as her 4-2-3. Not much to say about it, other than the fact that it comes from back turn. And she's got her down 4, which is a unique move. It's a not a natural combo, but it's a double low that's completely safe. The second hit is parryable though. So it does leave a lot of plus frames and leaves the opponent into full crouch when it hits. The only reason Yoshimitsu is blocking it is because he's on guard all, and the move is not a natural combo. It's not even a counter hit combo because it doesn't even work on counter hit. Well, she's got 3, which is she shares the Yoshimitsu as well. 3 is a low crushing mid that's safe, does a lot of damage, and leaves her in full crouch. I think a down 3 is guaranteed. No. Something guaranteed off of this, I know it is. Probably down 4. Nah, that didn't work. Could have blocked that. Another one? I guess if they just get up right away, another one's guaranteed. But basically that's in case this move is primarily used if you're like if your opponent is gonna down jab you every time that you go into back turn, since it low crushes, so it'll evade down jab, so you can do that if you want. It's an option, it's safe, so you don't really have to worry about being risky when using this, other than the fact that it's a little bit slow. And for whatever reason your opponent jabs you, they can jab you out of it, although they'll get a floated back turn combo, which may be difficult for some characters to get a correct combo off of. And then I don't think she has much else. She has one more thing from back turn, which is she's got her 3+4, which is an interesting move. It's kind of like a sway away like this, except it's a manual sway away. This sway away is a high crush, and it crushes a lot of mids. Actually, it's because of how low she goes to the ground. So it's a very good crush. In case your opponent is like doing some kind of mid that goes forward, you could do this to whiff it, and then you could retaliate with a wall standing 3 because it leaves you in full crouch, or you could do a full crouch mix up just in case they don't like whiff anything too hard. The bad thing about this is that the recovery frames on this are not as good as they are with sway away, because with sway away it's instant full crouch, while this one she has to wait until she returns from the split. So it's a bit slower and it doesn't really go as much distance, although the crush is a lot stronger. So, you know, that's an option you want to consider. Basically, it's either you want to do sway away or you want to do the manual sway away. The advantages to both is that the fact that sway away is faster in recovery and in movement, while split is a better crush. So basically, those are your options for you. Also, she also has a generic down 3, back turn down 3, which is really good for poking. a lot like Law's back turn down 3, very same use, very good for harassing your opponent, and then when you do that, you remain in full crouch, so you can do a full crouch mix-up as well. She also has a generic back turn hop kick, which is also really good for her mix-up. Just making sure I didn't miss anything from back turn. Down 4, V plus 4, 1+2. She has 1+2. Oh yeah, 1+2. This move is basically a move used for combos primarily. It is quick though. It's faster than 1-2, so it's possibly your fastest move outside of 2-3 from back turn. So if you, in case you want to do a very fast back turn mid, this is basically what she has. It's a case because people might duck the 2-3 or the 1-2, so you might want to use 1+2. That's basically your option here. But I guess, I mean, other than the fact that it's fast, instead of using that, you might as well just do a back turn hop kick, although this does have greater range. Primarily the reason you want to use that is in case of something like this. Oops. Back 4, 1+2, down 1, forward 4, 1+2. Forward 4, set 4 for a combo, basically. Okay, so those are her stances. See, they're not very confusing. They've got their useful moves and their set purposes. Primarily set 1-2, set 2, Doton 2, and this is Musabi. Musabi 2, just Musabi, and Doton 3? Yeah, Doton 3 are primary moves from those stances. Back 4, from back turn, she's got down 4, which is a primary move. She's got down 3. She's got 2-3, which is really good for interrupting. She's got 1-2 for poking. And she's got a back turn hop kick. And 3+4 if you know, same thing like I talked about before. Okay, that was a mouthful, but those are basically her stances. Now I'm gonna take a sip of water. Because talking for 30 minutes straight wears down on your lips. Right, now we're getting into the meat of Kunimitsu. We're gonna talk about her key moves. What moves do you use in neutral? How do you play Kunimitsu? Pretty much this is the meat. How do you play Kunimitsu? How do I use the moves to my optimal uses? Alright, so first we're gonna go with her pokes. I'm gonna start organizing tutorials into sections, and more so than I have before. So first we've got her pokes, and we've got her down forward 1-3. And her jabs. I'll talk about first her down forward 1. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, Kunimitsu's jabs are really, really, really good. She has really good range on her, punches. So her mid pokes are very, very strong because they have really, really good range. See, if the range of the leg is crazy. And unlike Yoshimitsu's down forward 1, or like Feng's down forward 1, Kunimitsu's frame is neutral, like all generic, or not all generic, but most generic down forward 1s. So it has the advantage of being a 13 frame far-reaching mid-poke that is safe and neutral. So it's really good for poking. So it's very, very strong mid-poke. It's one of her best tools in my opinion, and possibly one of the best down forward 1s in the game. Of course, nowhere near the best, but is a very, very, very strong down forward 1. A lot better than Yoshimitsu's or Feng's, in my opinion. So the thing that makes this move scary is that she has a built-in launcher to it that is also safe. She has down forward 1-3, which is a high damage taggable launcher. I have to figure out a combo for that. Probably look really fancy. But anyways, so she has this high launcher that is completely safe because it is really, really far knockback. Even though it's negative 11, the knockback on this move is ridiculous. And unfortunately, it does not knock back on the wall, so you are susceptible here. But is very delayable, as you can see. Like, boom, look at the delay. Crazy amounts of delay here. So it's very, very easy to trick your opponent into pressing buttons because down forward 1 is a really good poke tool and it's neutral. It's very tempting for your opponent to try to fight back against your offensive poking by fighting back. But they might get baited into a high crush. A launching high, which does a lot of damage. And obviously they don't want that to happen. So it's this move's very, very good because it has like a built-in mix-up at the same time as being a poke. So opponents don't really want to press buttons against it, yet they have to unless if they want to stop Kunimitsu's offensive, because for down forward 1 it has pretty decent tracking. Not amazing, but decent, and it's a mid, so it's not crushable at all. and of course there's the built-in 3, which is nice. The only weakness to this move is the fact that this move is a high on the second hit, which is crushable. So if you delay it, and your opponent knows that you're going to do the 3, they could duck the second hit, pretty much. This is why you could scare your opponent by spamming down forward ones, and then like look like you're going to hit it, and then do a hop kick or something like that, and then you'll launch them, which is a really good mix-up. But still, it is possible for you to get caught off guard, and your opponent can duck us that high, and then launch you forward, because the whiff window for this is pretty big. An additional use for this move is throwing down forward ones out in the open. This is kind of like baiting Whiff Punishers, because you could throw this out, and then your opponent thinks that they can hit you, they can Whiff Punish you, and then really you're just bringing out a second attack, which will launch them. Just have to note that it doesn't have amazing range, so you do have to be a little bit careful. So that's down forward 1 for you. Down forward 1-3, pretty good for you. Pretty strong mid poke. Next on her pokes list is her 1-2. Like I said, her jabs are really good. They have really good range. She has a standard 1-2, a lot of plus frames on hit and safe on block. She's also got a really good extension to 1-2, which is 1-2-4. Mid, that's -13, but the second hit is, the last hit is very delayable. Very delayable. So it's very good. It's very easy to bait out opponents with this. A lot like the same mechanic as down forward 1-3, except for the fact that this move is not crushable, but it is unsafe. So you do have to be a little bit careful with that. It also wall splats, so this is really good for pressuring your opponent, whatever. So you can be like bomb, then wall splat, damage, and then everybody's happy, except for the opponent, of course. So that's pretty much it to it. It's just, you can do the whole thing pretty much if you want, but it is confirmed if the second hit counter hits, the second punch connects, but it's not confirmed if it's a counter hit 1-2. And you remember that it is unsafe, although, in my opinion, it isn't punished as much as it could be because it's delayable, so your opponent is kind of like not ready to punish, because usually you can't like, -13 punish 1-2s, so your opponent might not be ready unless you do the whole damn string. If just like that, then your opponent could be ready to lift punish because there's no delay, that kind of thing. Because it looks like a whole string, doesn't look like a 1-2 when you do it like that. Okay, what else we've got? We've got down back 3-3, primary low poke. It's the same thing as Yoshimitsu's Manju low kick, same thing. After the first 2 hits, the rest are blockable and interruptible, as in, the mix-up to this down back 3-3 is 4, which, from down back 3-3, which I'll do in a second, hold on a second. Should that? Oh, what the? Oh, that's why. Oh, I think a bit of a yawn. It's that napping time of the day, I tell you. So, you can cancel down back 3-3 with a 4. This is a unique 4. This is not the same thing as her wall standing 4, even though it is the same exact animation. This version of wall standing 4 is wall splats. So very good. This is basically the mix-up, right? Down back 3-3 is primarily used to apply Kunimitsu's full crouch mix-up. So it basically moves you in really close to your opponent. And basically, yeah, moves you really close to your opponent, and then the opponent is going to be scared of that 4 because they know it's coming, or they've seen it so many times before that they don't want to get hit by the mid, since they know if they try to stop these lows, they're going to get hit by the mid. So you can apply full crouch mix-ups here. But a savvy and experienced opponent will know that if you do more than 2 low kicks, no matter what you do, you're actually so negative that if you try to do the 4, you'll just get counter hit, because they can interrupt your 4 with their wall standing 4, and they'll always beat you out if you do more than 2 kicks, that is. You do have to note though that if you don't do a mix-up here, you just go into like full crouch. If you don't do the 4 and you try to do a mix-up, you are actually launch punishable. It's actually a punish. It's not actually like you know, there's like you're pressing a button or anything like that. There's actually, you can actually get launch punisher doing this move, since it's actually a negative like 18 frame low kick on block. So I would be careful about the way you use it. And you do have to do 2 kicks to apply the while standing 4. You can't do it with 1 kick, because 1 kick will just do that. Moving on, that's pretty much for down back 3-3 for you. Very, very strong with the wall, primarily. It's very slow, so that's kind of a bad thing about it. It's unseeable in my opinion, but it's very slow. So this is kind of adding to my point that Kunimitsu does not have any fast low pokes to use. She's got decent ones, but none of them are fast, so it could be hard to open up opponents who are very turtly and don't ever block low. Because, well, those are very slow, and Kunimitsu does not have any very fast lows, so they could be problematic. In addition to both, she's got set 1-2, which I talked about already. I've used this as a poke a lot, so basically that's what it uses. It's basically a way to get in, way to maybe get a counter hit combo, where you know, apply pressure, that kind of thing. But I've primarily talked about it already, so I won't really repeat myself. She's got down 3, which is really, 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 really good. Down 3 is a sliding low that does not knock down like Law's slide, or, you know, this kind of slide. But, this low does 16, which is not that much, but it is very, very far range, which is really, really nice. The good thing about it is that down 3, is pretty, I mean, the best thing about it is that it's far range and it's unseeable. Very, very, very unseeable. It's very quick, far ranged, and hits low. Bad thing is it does not good damage, and it's negative on hit. So you don't get a guaranteed mix-up here. You just have to block. If your opponent knows that it's negative, then they're just gonna hit buttons and you're gonna get counter hit. So you have to be careful. It is launch punishable though. So it's a lot like Fangs down by 3, like a low poke that's very far ranged, but launch punishable nonetheless. So you do have to be a little bit careful with it. Tracking is not that good with this either. This is also very good for ending rounds. So if you want to just, you know, end the round already without risking yourself at all, this is a pretty good way to do it. And if I didn't mention it already, this leaves you in full crouch 4 full crouch mix-up, but because it's negative, you have to be very careful about whether or not you decide to apply a full crouch mix-up or not. Okay, now we got forward 4, which is a move that's not that fast, but if you hold forward, you do go into set stance, and on block, it's plus. So basically, this is a really good way to get into set stance at close range. And the good thing here is that set 1-2 comes out at 10 frames, so this move is uninterrupted. You can't interrupt this at all. Because +2, and then you do like an 8 frame move. The only time you possibly could interruptible is if your opponent does a down jab. But then you could do like, you know, you could do this, and then you could crush it, and then you could do all sorts of fancy things, whatever. Part of the mix-up, basically. I tend not to use this move too much since I don't really like to go in people's faces with Kunimitsu too much. But that's just my personal playstyle. You could use this move whatever you want. This is also used in combos to do additional damage and to apply the set stance throw like this. Instead of just doing manual set 4, you could do forward 4, set 4, which does more damage. That's 4-4 for you, pretty good. Well, I'm saying forward 4, hopefully you guys are not saying a 4-4. This is 4-4, which is a shitty move. Don't ever use this, this move sucks. Back 1 is the same thing as Yoshimitsu's Manji Death Fists. Or Manji Backhand, sorry. What is it? Manji Spin Fists? I don't remember. Basically, this move is a plus frame jab. It's basically a kind of a slow and short range jab that is plus on block, which is really good. You can also transition to down back 3-3 from this, so you could use back 1-1 to get into that, which is really nice. Oh, wait a second, hold on, man. That's a natural combo. Wait a second. Okay, so after the first 2 hits, the load will be blockable. But yeah, you can basically do that if you want. The thing about this, it chains into its own spinning. I think you have a limit of spinning like 5 times, I think. It looks like it was about 5 or 6 times before Kunimitsu gets dizzy and falls a lot like Yoshimitsu does. This is the same thing for her back 1, back 1, 1, 1, 1, and her down back 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. She'll just get dizzy and fall down to the ground. So that's pretty much what could happen to you. It's a lot safer if you do it from full crouch since you'll just collapse into neutral. While back 1, you stand up for a bit and you can actually get launched with this, so you really have to be careful. But it's pretty much, if you're in someone's face, you can use this to poke because it's basically plus on hit. So, I mean block, so that's something to know about. And finally, she's got her up forward 2, which is kind of seeable low. It's the fact that she's jumping makes it look like a mid's coming, but it's actually a low that's coming. This move is pretty good. It does 25, and it's plus frames, and leaves both you... Oh no, it doesn't leave them in, but it leaves you in full crouch, and it gives a lot of plus frames. So, really good. Short ranged, and the other problem is that this move is launch punishable. So, on the off chance that your opponent blocks it, you are going to get launched for this. Although, because of such a strange animation of a jump that goes into a low, it's a pretty quick jump. It's not like Kuba's big jump into his low. It's kind of hard to see, although it's not impossible to see. It's definitely... You can definitely build a reaction time to see this move. But the good thing about it is that even if you do have a reaction time to this move, you can cancel this move with down and apply a full crouch mix-up instead of doing the move. So this is really good. Or you could scare your opponent or something like that. You could like do this and then throw. Or mid and then throw. Or, you know, do the 1+2 throw. Whatever, you know. Whatever to your heart's content. Oh, it's forward. Yeah, I think that's primarily all of her pokes. I think I just want to mention the best ones are down back 3-3, down forward 1-3, her jabs, and set 1-2. Primarily her best low pokes, and down 3. Are, in my opinion, her best low pokes in no particular order, but with a heavy emphasis on down forward 1. Her down forward 1 is really, really, really good. Okay, so now moving on to Whiff Punishers, we've got 4-2-3. 4-2-3 is her primary Whiff Punisher, 43 damage, really good, very far ranging double high. Like I mentioned before, it is hit confirmable, but it is also duckable, so I would be careful about, you know, using this move on block. If it's block, I would just stop right there, because you can hit confirm this move anyways, it's no reason to just mash it out, because like I said, it is very unsafe if your opponent does duck it. And I think this move is also -10 on block anyways, or so. Not much to say about it other than the fact that it's a wall splat, a far-reaching Whiff Punisher, and this is primarily what you're going to use for Whiff Punishing because it does the highest damage and it has the best range. And the best properties such as being hit confirmed or whatever in wall splatting. Now we've got her back 4-3, which is a little bit more damage, 48, which is good, but the downside is that this move is super slow. Unlike 4-2-3, which is 13 frames, this move comes out at 18 frames. So it's pretty damn slow, and its Whiff Punishes is not that amazing. You just kind of use it for big whiffs. Like if somebody really whiffs a really slow move in your face, this is the time to use this move. But for the most part, you're going to be using 4-2-3. Note that you cannot hit confirm this move. It is completely like undelayable. But the good news is that even though it's large punishable, it has a lot of knockback. So you're very safe from this move for the most part. There are very few moves in the game that can actually punish this. I think Lays forward 4-3, Laws back 2-2, Blazing Kick maybe, you can input that ridiculously well. Will all punish this, but it's very, very difficult. Yeah. Also back 4 leads into her back turn mix-up, which I talked about earlier, but the frames here are not very good. So pretty much you have to get lucky in the fact that you're pressuring them and they'll let you go into back 4 and they won't try to stop you. I mean, they'll let you do back 4 to back turn and won't try to stop you. But if they do try to stop you, you can just do the +4 to evade stuff. So then we've got back 2, which is one of her 2 homing moves. It's also a knife attack, or a kunai attack, so it's unparryable. Really good tracking, of course, since it's homing. And really good range, wall splats, safe, I think. well, I think it's like -10, I think, at least. I think this is like -10, actually. Let me just find out, actually. Okay, so it's only a -10 or 11. Probably only 10 though, because Kunimitsu doesn't have an 11 frame move. Her 4 does not launch like other counter 4s like Fangs does. Although Fangs doesn't even launch, it just knocks them back. You can't really combo off of that. Okay, so that's that 2 for you. Not much to say about it other than it's a forward home mid, just in case for some reason you're off axis or they're moving a lot or something, or you want to hit them, they're stepping a lot. This is to use back 2, basically, pretty much. Now I've got her down 4-2, which I've talked about this already. It's a lot like Leo's and Jack's down 4-2, where it has really. Sorry about that, guys. My mic fell out. I just plugged it back in. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the recording. Please don't mess up the recording. Basically, yeah. What was I talking about? Yeah, down 4-2. Sorry, down 4-2. Really good range. Not really as much range as Leo or Jack's down 4-2. But the range on it is really good, so you can use this for whiff punishing a lot. So, very good at that. Down 4-2 is really good. Not much to say about it. It's basically they whiff in your face, and they're in recovery enough times you can land down 4-2. Do that instead of 4-2-3. If you can, anyways. It is, remember that it is a 15 frame move, so it's a little bit slower to whiff punish with. Although it is definitely doable. It's one of her best tools. It's also safe, and it launches, which is all really good. Then she's got her up back 1+2. What the hell is that? Oh, that's the wrong move. 46. She's got her 3+4, right? Okay, I'm talking about this move. Like I said, it has not as much range as the animation shows, and it starts at 18 frames, a lot like back 4-3 does. But I mean, the good news is that this move is very safe to only -1. Bad news, and the other news is that on counter hit, this move is a launcher, which is also really good. But it is a high, it's slow, and it does not have as much range as you think it would. But if you're in this range, let's say just about here, right here with your opponent, it will hit at the tip. This is basically the tip range of the move. So if you're out here, this is when you want to use them. But if you think it's gonna hit all the way out here, you are sadly mistaken. Okay, what else we got? I think those are all there for Whiff Punishers. Yeah, back 4-3, 4-2-3, back to 3+4, and down 4-2 are her primary Whiff Punishers. She's also got one more. I guess this, I'll count this as Whiff Punisher, but this is a very interesting Whiff Punisher. Is she's got her running 3 or running 2, which is a deceptively far range mid, which is launch punishable. But if you're at really far range and you can't punish anything else, this is the go-to move with punishment because it has really far range. Because you step forward 3 times, oops, like all the way out here and do that, it'll whiff. It'll catch a whiff punch. Because basically this move is super, it's not super fast, but it has a lot more range than I think it is, because this is what it looks like on a whiffs. Like, it doesn't look like it has any range, but actually it's crazy amounts of range. Like, invisible range, like, you don't have to hit, you just have to be, like, within the opponent's hitbox, and she'll, like, teleport through them. It is a very fast move, but, hold on a second, let me show it, actually. Oops. It, like, look at this, not that much range, and it doesn't look that punishable. It actually launch punishable. So that is something to be careful about. It is a launch punishable move, and it just serves that one purpose as being a full screen with Punisher. Although it's kind of hard because you do have to be like on point on reacting to a whiff at full screen, since it's not the fastest thing in the world. Even though it is a fast move, it's not like the move that will catch everything as long as you can input in time. So that's running 2 for you, also known as forward 2. So just running 2, whatever. Okay, so moving on, she's got her mix-up tools, which is this is gonna be her primary set of moves that are gonna get her into full crouch, or back turn, which is her primary mix-up tool. Is her down forward 3-2. This move is a mid into a low, very very far-reaching mid, by the way. This move is launch punishable the second hit. The first hit is safe, but it's also not very good on frames. The second hit, launch punishable, and low launches, it's the same kind of launch as set 2. I mean, Wasabi 2. On counter hit, the whole thing's guaranteed. Yeah. A lot of damage right there, very high damage launcher. The mix-up here is that down 4-3-2 is a lot like up 4-2 cancelable with down. So you can cancel the down into, you can cancel the knife attack low launcher into a full crouch mix-up, which is really good. So you get scare your opponents by basically doing the full crouch mix-up, like I said, is, do this, or you'll do this, or you'll do this, or you'll just interrupt with this, or you'll do maybe this. It's basically just, you could just extend the Yomi factor. You could, be creative about the mix-up. But basically, that's a way to get into the opponent's face with a full crouch mix-up right away, is 4-3-2. 4-3-2. Very, very savvy opponents are thinking that you're going to cancel a lot, so what you could do is, if someone knows that you're just going to cancel it a lot, you could scare them with one cancel, block, and then the next time you do it, just do the whole thing. Because they're going to expect you to just cancel it, so they're going to be ready to interrupt you or something. So that's that for you. Not much to say about that other than what it's used for. The first kick does not actually have good tracking, so you have to be careful about that. And it's also kind of slow, so that's also something you have to be worried about. You have to kind of already be close to them to use it. Now we've got her Shark Attack, which is another move she shares with Yoshimitsu. This Shark Attack, 4, 4, 3 plus 4, 2, 1 plus 2, 2, 1. What is it? Or is it? Oh, no, it's 3 plus 4 again. Isn't it? 1 second. Oh, it's 4. 4, 4, 2, 4. 4, 4, 3 plus 4, 2, 4. Shark Attack is another one of her mix-up tools. A lot like Yoshimitsu, where Yoshimitsu has 2 versions of Shark Attack's, she calls it, transition. He has one where he goes into the whole thing, and he has one where he goes into back turn, like this. Oops. There you go. So this is what the mix-up is for. Basically, it's a lot like Armor King's shoulder charge mix-up, where you do this, and you go to back turn, poke them, and then keep doing that, keep poking them, keep poking them, keep poking them, keep poking them, and then eventually you do the whole thing, which leads into a combo because the second hit is confirms into the last thing, which is a bound move. Oops. You know what I mean. So yeah, that's basically it for you. You can't delay it, you can't really confirm the fact that you're counter hit, other than the fact that I think it launches them off the floor when they're counter hit. No, it doesn't. But there's no way to counter hit it, so you kind of have to balls in deep. The last hit is -13. The second hit is launch punishable, so I really wouldn't want to use that because it's the same move as Doton 2. So you don't really want to stop it there. Additionally to this, she has 4, 4, 3 plus 4 down. Oh, not 4, down. 4, 4, 3 plus 4 up. Which, oh, what the hell? Pretty sure it's up. There we go. Which goes into her up 3, which is an evasive move, which we'll talk about later. And she has 3, which takes her into her back turn 3, which takes her to back turn anyways. Also safe here as well. You can use this in case your opponent is also ready for you to do into a back turn mix up. They're going to down jab you, and then they just get caught by that, which is really nice. That's basically the Shark Attack mix up for you. Back turned or not, It's just, you know, all about confusing your opponent, whether you're gonna condition them to think that you're always going back turn, or you're gonna condition them that you're always gonna do the whole string, so that when you actually do go back turn, they're not ready for it or whatever. Or you could be tricky, you could be like 4-4-3 back, and then sway away. Like crazy, you know. And you could just be creative with that, whatever. Next we've got Kunimitsu's oh, by the way, shark attack is very linear, so your opponent can step it if you do it at full screen. She's got her up 3+4, which is a evasive tool which disappears and launches on hit, as long as both hits connect, that is. Yeah. It's safe. It's actually plus frames. I think also leads to full crouch. Yeah, you can't punish it. She wouldn't be able to block there. It leaves him in full crouch and it's plus frames. It is bad on whiff. Like, look, there's a lot of recovery frames here, kind of. But it is still a move that's very good. It's very good at the start of rounds because she disappears, it kind of evades a lot of things. Not everything, of course, though. It actually kind of susceptible to highs, but it does evade lows and some mids. This is really good for Oki, and I'll just talk about that when I get to Okizime later, but it's good for Oki as well. What else can I say about this move? It's, in my opinion, it's kind of like better than Doton Stance because it's more accessible. Like, it's faster. Like, you can do it right away instead of Doton Stance. You kind of just have to do the stance first. That kind of thing. Moving on from that, we got her full crouch mix-up, which I hope you guys have picked this up right without me having to tell you. Is basically she's got her wall standing 3 for launching, and which is taggable. And to complement that, she's got her launching low, which is her full crouch down 4-3, which you get this mini combo, which is while standing forward down 2-1+2, down 2-1, 1+2. We're down to 1-2, 1+2. There we go. I mean, the launcher though from low does not give as much damage, and it's launch punchable because it's a knockdown low, which gives the opponent more of an incentive to try and block low because it's annoying and you get a lot of reward for blocking it. But this gives you more of a reason to use up while standing 3 because it's more of a reward and it's not as punishable. So the opponent could get greedy and be like, well, if I block that low, I can launch him. So that's why they might want to block low a lot. And the fact that it's a knockdown low makes it very annoying to get hit by. Or you could just, you know, do while standing forward to interrupt or whatever. Okay, and the other moves is that I'm talking about like some miscellaneous moves. She's got her parry, which I think I can show that. Oh, what the? I don't think I recorded it. Nope. There we go. There we go. Basically, that parry is a high and mid parry. I think it parries everything, right? Including kicks. Yep, including kicks. It doesn't parry lows. And it's highs and mid punches. Kind of a small window, but it's not that bad. The parry, like as you saw. Oops. Come on, there we go. Disappears, and then she comes back with a unblockable mid attack, which leaves you in face down, which is, you know, very good for Oki. It does a lot of damage, and basically, yeah, pretty much, if you're getting pressure a lot, this is an option to use. It's not guaranteed, like some parries are like reversal or like Law's DSS like parry like attack. Nothing's guaranteed because your opponent, depending on what they move they did, they could still be safe. If they try to block, though, of course, they're just gonna get hit because it's unblockable. Speaking of unblockables, when you're pressuring someone and they refuse to open up, a good move to use with Kunimitsu is forward 1+2, which is this pretty fast, high unblockable, just 27, knocks down as well, couple stuns, so they can't tech roll out of it either, which is really good. It's duckable, and it's kind of like, you can see it, and it's a little bit slow, but it's not like the worst unblockable in the world, like you know, this unblockable. Yeah, that unblockable is terrible. But, basically, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. 4+2. It's only really usable when you're pressuring an opponent, or maybe you're trying to, like, end the game. Not that it's also pretty good for getting a last hit because it's an unblockable, high attack, which is pretty good. Just remember, there's a risk to it because it is slow, and it is a high. So, and she's got her up +2, which is kind of the same concept as up +4 and 4+2, is like combined together. It's kind of the same concept as up 1+2, where it's like it launches, and it's kind of like a tool you use when you're really pressuring your opponent. And the thing is, it is really short range, so you kind of have to be point blank your opponent, and your opponent has to be really scared to not hit back. So it's kind of very situational, but the reward is very nice. It also does not have any tracking at all, it's very linear. So what you could do is you can actually combo off of this move is back 4. Oops. Oh, one more thing. Her like I talked about, her wall carry is really good. It's primarily good because her 4-3-1-4, set 1-2-4 string goes really far, and the last hit's a bound, so you don't have to worry about too many hits in a bound. And her down forward 1-3, actually you only get after like 2 reps. This move has tremendous wall carry. It hits them really far back, and it'll wall splat from a really far range. You can do down forward 1-3 as a bound ender to get a combo off if you want. Okay, so what else? I think that's about it, actually, guys. I think that's all of her useful moves as far as I know. One more thing is her real unblockable, which is her her down back 1+2. This move is not that bad because I think it's a mid? No, it's a high. It's definitely a high. Oh yeah, definitely high. But pretty much, you can kind of use this move at far range to bait out your opponent. It's kind of usable. It's just the fact that this move does only 20 damage. It'll do more though if you do hit it at the wall. And it does wall break, so if you could think of a fancy combo with your tag partner, you can use this as a wall breaker. You hear Yoshimitsu, this is crazy. Sounds like a goat. Anyways, now I'll talk about her quick Okizeme. This is very brief since Kunimitsu does not have a strong Okizeme, in my opinion. Position settings, no. Yeah, position settings actually. Yeah. Okay, so Kunimitsu does not have that many ground hitting moves. Her lows don't really hit grounded. Her down back 4 does not. Her down by 3-3 does not. Although at the wall, down by 3-3 will hit because it actually can be used as a wall ender. I'll talk about that when I get the wall game. Her down for 3 2-second hit does. Her Masabi 2 hit does. Back 4 does. I think always back 4 always hits. Yep, and up 3+4 does. Her set 4 also hits grounded, but doesn't really have any crazy moves that hit grounded. A lot of moves make them get up again, but the only really trick she has with Okizeme is if an opponent, let's say, hold on a second, back roll, do up 3+4, and they back roll, right, thinking that you're done, that they can get away because it looks like you won't be able to do anything. Well, you can do this, and then chase them with set, what you call it? So you have to be very quick about it. Or maybe I'm being too quick. I know this works, come on. Yoshimitsu, you got a funky hitbox, brother. Whoa, too much mashing. Well, this is very strange. This just worked and now it's not working. Very weird. Maybe it's because Yoshimitsu's hitbox is funky? Hold on a second. Try down Kunimitsu. Huh. Oh, there we go. I don't know why that wasn't working before. Basically, yeah. If your opponent tries to back roll after up 3+4, Yoshimitsu actually has the same kind of Okizime mix-up. If they try to back roll, you can catch them with this, pretty much, into a combo. So that's something you could do. Very strange. Well, why that's not hitting. Maybe because I'm doing it too early. I really don't know why that's not hitting, because that usually hits more consistently. I don't know why. That's pretty much her Okizime. She doesn't really have anything crazy. Not a lot. She doesn't really have a lot of ground hitting moves. Gotan moves do, like that does. This will, but nothing really amazing, like I said. If your opponent does try to do a get-up kick, though, you can. She does have a lot of low crushing moves, so you can bait them like that, like up 4, 3, 4. Thing though, that unlike Yoshimitsu's up 4, 3 hop kick, hers does not have a high crush, which is weird considering that she's a smaller character. But whatever. Now let's get into her wall game, which is the last thing I'll talk about. Very brief as well. Okay, so wall game, nothing really too crazy. Primary wall splatting and wall moves is down by 3-3, like I mentioned earlier. This mix-up is really good because if they block low, they could be, you know, susceptible to this, so they have to kind of take the full crouch mix-up here. And if they guess wrong, they block like this sweep or something, you can just keep hitting them with this sweep and it'd be very annoying for them. You could launch them, and then, you know, that could be bad. And this is the primary string you use for walls, is down 2, 1, 2, 1 plus 2, if I haven't shown that enough already. Other wall splatting moves is 4, 1 plus 2, which is in mid, 4, 2, 3, which is if you block negative 13 at the wall, you can wall splat them. I think it wall splats to her left side, so if you're at the wall there, you can do that. Yeah, pretty much. But if you're on the right side, it won't work. She also has her 3, standing 3, which also wall splats, also wall breaks in case you want to use that for wall breaks. Oh, I didn't talk about this move. This move is basically the same thing as this move, except that it's a little bit better because it's a little bit faster, but still a little bit slow. There's not really like way to land this move. It's kind of like you have to just go in your opponent, like the dash in your face, kind of scaring them kind of thing, and then do this move. It's actually, I think it's unsafe. I think it's unsafe. Let me just find out. But not that much. It might have knockback though. Oh yeah, knockback. I forgot about that. And it starts a combo. You do the same combo, like back 4, whatever. Back to wall game. She's got 4, 3 plus 4, 3. She's got down 4, 2 wall splats. She's got back 2 wall splat, which is really good. This move is really good for wall splatting because no matter where your opponent is near the wall, as long as they're near the wall, this is a wall splat because the knockback is really far and it's homing, so they can't step this to avoid the wall splat or anything like that. I think that's it. She has a running 3, but you won't really be using that too much because it's not like a generic running 3, which doesn't like give plus frames after her. Her running 3 is actually negative. 3 is also not that bad for wall splatting because it's homing, but the thing is it's high and it's pretty slow. Let's see. What else we got? To be honest, guys, I don't think she has that many wall splatting moves, but yeah, but basically, yeah, like what I said, in my opinion, it revolves around her full crouch game to get wall splats revolves around a lot like this stuff. To just scare them to block low because you're like at point blank range here. Down by 3-3 won't have a problem of being short range, so you can just do this to them forever, and eventually they'll block low, and then you can hit them with a wall splat mid, or you can launch them, or from far range you can do this to them, hit them with wall splat, or this you can hit them with the wall splat. Like I said, she doesn't really have any good lows, so she has to really use her full crash mix-up in order to get them to duck at the wall. So, other than that, the other way to wall splat is just to hit them with a -13 move. I mean, like, if they use -13 and blocked, from far back, use that, or from far back, use back 2. Both of them will wall splat. Evidently, you won't really need to do this much because, well, you will. Well, what I'm trying to say is that Kunimitsu's combos carry so far to the wall that you're gonna be at the wall a lot, so you're gonna find yourself in a position where you won't really have to worry about range or something, or you don't have to worry about a position where your opponent is gonna be able to get out of the wall or something like that, or you're gonna find yourself at the wall a lot. So you're gonna be using these mix-ups kind of a lot. I guess I am saying that you are gonna be at the wall, not so much. You won't be doing this too much. But I mean, you're gonna get the wall combo anyways with the wall carry. I think that's what I'm trying to say earlier, is that you're gonna get the wall combo anyways because of the wall carry. Oh, one more thing. 2 more things, actually. I have to talk about 2 more moves, which is very, very quick. Yeah, actually, it is. So you stay at the wall, and you're being pressured. There are 2 ways out of the wall. You can... One way I like to do is if you have a moment of opportunity, what I like to do is do up 3. Up 3 is this big, super, like, fancy, anime jump across, which, has a lot of really good, range. Just makes your jump away and puts your opponents back to the wall. So, if you have a moment of opportunity to escape, this is a good time to use this move, since it puts you out of harm's way and moves you away from the wall, and then puts your opponents back to the wall, which is also really good. Problem here is that it's kind of slow, so you really have to be careful when you're gonna use it. You have to, use it at the right time. And in addition to this is you can go back and forth. So you're gonna trick your opponent to try and whiff punish you the first time when you flump over, so you can jump over again. Also note is that both the jumps leave you in full crouch, so you can punish with a wall setting 3, and you will automatically whiff highs. Or you can do a full crouch mix-up, whatever you want. Other move is up back 3, which is the same kind of concept. It's a little bit weaker, it's just an auto sidestep left into full crouch. It's kind of weaker, it's just, an option. I don't really use it that much, though. Kind of a cool jump, though, I guess. It's just an auto sidestep left, really, into full crouch. Whee! Oh, she also has this flip back, like most female characters do. Whee! Also, oh, she also has a unique move, which is that sway back, up, back, and then 3. Basically, her running 3 into it. Just in case. This is kind of good at the start of rounds in case somebody does something, because you'll whiff with this, make them whiff with this, and then immediately retaliate with a built-in whiff punish. Not that bad. It is -10 though, so that's something you have to worry about. And last thing is her sidestep sweep. She also has sidestep 1+2, which is kind of decent as well. I don't know if it gives a combo. I don't think it does. Yeah, it doesn't. I think it wall splats though. This sidestep sweep is the same thing as Roger's sidestep sweep. Nothing really too amazing. It doesn't really give a combo either. I don't really use it that much because the risk, in my opinion, is not really worth the reward, which is just 28 damage low. I guess because she does lack high damage moves, it's kind of useful, but still, it's not punishable, and you don't really get a combo for it, so it's kind of risky. Don't really use it that much. Well, guys, I think that was about it for Kunimitsu. She has unique tag throws with Raven and Yoshimitsu. I think she has... Well, she has... Let me just go to Yoshimitsu, actually. Does he have this throw? No, he doesn't. One of his throws are unique throws with her. Not life drain throw. They have that throw, I know that. Oh yeah, this stuff. Her true throw is taggable with Yoshimitsu for some reason. And for some reason, the stab-in does not hurt Yoshimitsu at all. Very strange. Boom! Crazy. But yeah, that's Kunimitsu, guys. Like I said, she's kind of a standard character. She's got a really good set of Whiff Punishers. She's got really, really great wall carry. Pretty above average wall damage as well. Good mid pokes, good range. Lacking in power moves, and she's lacking in good lows, or like very fast lows, very fast low pokes. She has pretty decent full card mix-up. I think Yoshimitsu is a little bit better because he has more options, and he has the unblockable sweep. She has, let's say, she has decent combo damage as well. And she can either really play Keep Away or In Your Face, up to you. She's got good mix-ups, not crazy mix-ups, like, she's not a mix-up-centric character, like Lei or Zafina or Yashao you are. But she has her own, you know, above-average mix-ups, and she has a little bit of Yoshimitsu's playstyle within her, mostly revolving around her back turn and her full crouch mix-up. And yeah, she has really good gap closers, like the set stance attacks and her 4-2-3 move punish and the 4-3-4, and etc, etc. So, don't know. I think I've gotten everything that I wanted to say about her. So, yeah. Without further ado, that, guys, was Kunimitsu. She's not that hard, and if you actually good tip is if you want to play Yoshimitsu. I mean, if you want to learn Yoshimitsu, probably learning Kunimitsu is probably a gateway into learning Yoshimitsu, because it'll familiarize yourself with kind of the way that Yoshimitsu plays. She's not, like, you know, exactly like Yoshimitsu. She's at least, like, 40% Yoshimitsu. But her playstyle is similar enough that you get a feel for it, and then if you move on to Yoshimitsu, their playstyles are similar, although Yoshimitsu is way more complex, of course. And if you want to know how to play Yoshimitsu, I do have a tutorial on Yoshimitsu in my channel. If you want to do that, check that out. So, that was Kunimitsu, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a good day. Now, Katon! Koukana Jutsu! See you guys.